Seltzer Kings
podcasts.
On Friday, November 15th, Netflix and Most Valuable Promotions bring you the highly anticipated heavyweight boxing mega event of the year. Jake El Gallo Paul will go toe-to-toe in the ring against Iron Mike Tyson, the baddest man on the planet. Don't miss this epic showdown from AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. Watch Paul versus Tyson, now streaming only on Netflix.
I knew the only thing better than killing us there would be...
What? Oh, that's what this was about? Doing a Slayer?
I wouldn't throw stones, but you seem to be quite the groupie yourself.
Shut up.
I'm just saying, vampires get you hot.
A vampire got me hot. One. But he's gone. You're just convenient.
So what now? You go back to treating me like dirt until the next time you got an itch you can't scratch? Well, forget it. Last night changed things. I'm done being your whipping boy.
Nothing's changed. It was a mistake.
Bollocks. It was a bloody revelation.
Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to me. Today is my birthday. Welcome to Boys Watching Buffy. Yeah. 100% improvised there, ladies and gentlemen.
I did not expect that.
Welcome to another episode of Boys Watching Buffy. We're just two boys watching every episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer for the first time, giving our review, our reactions. We're your hosts. I'm the birthday boy, Joe Welke.
I am Vance.
And today we're talking season 6, episode 10, titled Wrecked, directed by David Solomon, written by Martin Noxon.
Dum dum dum.
Original air date, November 27th, 2001, to an audience of 5.57 million people. And everybody listening, today is my birthday, the day that this is coming out, November 21st. So celebrate me, okay? Go out, listen to this podcast, and then do what we have been asking you to do for so long. Give this podcast a 5-star rating and review, because if you do, you will get a shout out from Sloppy Joe on his birthday. We got some shout outs for you today. We're going to start it off with Chelsea Bratcher. Chelsea Bratcher, thanks so much for your amazing review that you gave us. Nice message that you sent to my DMs. I also want to give a shout out to Jennifer LaFay. She's one of the Hollywood It Girls. If you don't know who they are a nice little dance troupe that performs around LA. They perform with Babylon Cabaret at El Cid, where I sometimes do shows, but Hollywood It Girls, they are super rad. So Jennifer LaFay, thanks so much for your 5-star Spotify rating. And then also we got one more for J. Catarina Lopez. She's been a longtime listener. She is one of our Discord homies. She finally got around to giving us a 5-star review on Spotify. Thanks for that. And we also have some shout outs from Vance. Vance, who you got?
Yeah, Sloppy Joe has raised his rate, so we only can let him do 3 shout-outs. So the other 3 shout-outs we have are from Apple Podcasts. We got a great shout-out, 5-star review from Schmoy. 8 episodes in. 8 episodes in. Already loving, already a diehard fan of the show. Yeah. Diehard Buffy fan, has 3 other Buffy podcasts, but We got a 5-star review after 8 episodes. Don't know where they started. Not sure if they started from the beginning. And we also have a shout out of someone who can't wait for us to see how this series wraps up. A shout out from 856JD89. Thank you.
There you go.
They say we're going to be so fulfilled.
Oh boy.
I'm scared now. I'm scared.
Yeah, me too.
And lastly, we have a 5-star shout out from JSue1223. And I'm going to read this one fully.
Okay.
It's a short one,
right.
but it's a 5-star review. This is such a fun podcast. I listen at work and it makes my day so much better. That makes us feel good. That makes us feel good.
Yeah. Happy to make your days better. And if you want to get your own shout out, 5-star Apple Podcast rating and review, 5-star Spotify rating, send it over to us, a screenshot. So we got proof. We won't just take your word for it because you're untrustworthy motherfuckers.
All right. That's enough. That's enough, Sloppy Joe. That's enough. See you next week.
Patreon.com/Boys Watching Buffy for Boys Watching Angel, Boys Watching Movies, where we're doing The Mummy this month. And Joe's Fashion Report /Corner.
I like to say it's the Brendan Fraser mummy, not the Tom Cruise mummy. So just
though I think people shit on that Tom Cruise one a little too harshly.
It's not good, but it's not. I think if it wasn't a weird remake of the original Mummy, because they're two different movies. If it was just a regular movie with the Mummy, then maybe.
I mean, I thought it got like a 12 on Rotten Tomatoes or something. It was like so bad. And I was like, I didn't think it was that bad. I thought it was pretty decent. But yes, the Brendan Fraser Mummy, the classic. So we'll be doing that. We got merch. Go out and buy some merch for my birthday. Get some espresso pumped stuff. Get some Amy's Rat Flakes stuff. Get some frickin' We Like the Show stuff. One Starbuck Town. We got it all, baby. And we got our wish list. And I think that's about all the announcements that we need to make up top.
Yeah, and Joe is a very selfless person. You know, he loves giving gifts more than getting gifts. So if you're on the Amazon wish list and you're like, oh, I think this is something that Vance put on there, get it for me and say it's from him. He'll enjoy that. He'll get the joy.
The best present that I could get for my birthday is you guys getting Vance something. Getting Vance some book that he put on there.
Or a Nintendo Switch. I'm not.
All right. Shall we talk about Wrecked, Vance?
I guess so. I guess we'll talk about the show.
How'd you like the follow-up to Amy the Rat's inclusion?
A little bit of a letdown.
I feel like it presented a problem and resolved itself really fast.
It presented a problem and made that problem a different problem.
Yeah.
And it was a weird one to go into because we've had the musical episode, we had the them hooking up, and it was just all right, obviously you're gonna have a little down reset, but the other couple episodes have been so high level concept wise, and this one's like a metaphor.
Yeah, and I think I predicted that last episode or a couple episodes ago.
You were right on your prediction. Last episode, you predicted that Buffy and Willow would be have an emotional wreck confrontation. And I predicted they still be banging in the house, which kind of almost happened.
Oh, yeah.
Almost.
Non-consensual at some points, potentially.
As we've heard on Discord, this is a toxic relationship and people stand in different places on it.
Yeah. All right. So let's fucking pop open these Mountain Dews, baby. Got the Dew era going. Thanks, Paul K, for these. Yeah. All right. We're in the Dew fucking era. Here we go. So the episode opens up with lots of recapping again. Spike saying to Buffy, you came back wrong. Willow and Tara, Willow doing the forget spell on Tara, then them breaking up, then Amy the Rat recap, then a trio stealing a diamond recap, and Buffy and Spike banging recap. Lots of recapping.
Yeah. I understand why they put each scene in there, but sometimes I'm like, you can let it slide. I didn't need the trio stealing Diamond. And it's only for like that one scene where they're like looking for something. And I wouldn't have been like, what?
Yeah. So the episode actually opens up with Dawn and Tara waking up on the couch. The cartoons are just playing on the TV. And it's the next day from the last episode because they were waiting for Willow or Buffy or somebody to come back home because Tara didn't want to leave Dawn alone. And they wake up and they're like, Willow must have never come home. Why didn't anyone try to wake us up? Like, why didn't anybody? Oh, I guess nobody came home. They go looking around the house and they're looking in all the rooms. Buffy's not home. Willow's not home. And they're like, geez, all right. Well, they must have been out fighting or partying or
They literally say they must have lost track of time.
Yeah.
You live in Sunnydale. If someone doesn't show up, they're dead.
I would immediately go to panic mode.
Yeah.
Like they don't go to panic mode, I think, ever.
No, they're so...
Like they're just like, yeah, you want to make some pancakes? Like, what the fuck, dude? This is Sunnydale.
Yeah.
But, anyway, so then we go see where Buffy is, and Buffy is woken up in the wreckage of that building where she and Spike were hooking up, and they're cuddling. She wakes up, they're naked, and Buffy's like, oh my God, what the, oh Jesus, you must have fell asleep. And Spike's like, yeah, you must have fell asleep after the third or fourth time or whatever. It's like, good Lord. And Buffy looks around and she goes, when did the building fall down? And Spike's like, must have been between the second or third time. And Buffy's like, oh God, I can't believe that we did that. I can't believe we've done this multiple times. And then Spike's like, yeah.
God,
how unaware are you?
He's so sleazy.
Yeah, and it's like rubbing it in her face. Like, this is not a way to, like, I don't know, man. Because he's in love with her, and then he's just like...
It's a messed up relationship, dude.
It's so weird, man. But so then Buffy gets dressed, and Spike is like, what are you getting dressed for? What are you worried about? And Buffy's like, if I was here, that means I left Dawn alone all night. And Spike really gave up on that promise of protecting Dawn for the rest of his life.
He said until
now that he got it in.
Now that Buffy came back, he was off the hook.
Yeah. He's like, whatever, Dawn's probably fine. You want to stay here and cuddle for a bit? And Buffy's like, no, dude. Let me tell you something, Spike. I know I've said this several times now, but last night was a mistake. And last night was the last little bit of our relationship. It's never happening again. And Spike's like, I heard that before. And he just grabs her and he starts like putting his hand up her skirt. And she's like, stop, no, stop. And then Spike goes, make me. And I was like, ugh. Ugh. People.
And then she starts to give in and they're starting to go for it.
She starts kissing real hard. They're going for it really hard again. Yeah. And then Buffy's like, no, I can't do this. I can't do this again. I gotta go. And then Spike's like, please stay. I can't leave. I'm stuck here. And Buffy's like, why are you stuck here? He's like, dummy, vampire, the sun is up. And then Buffy's like, all right, well, okay. And then she makes out with him again. And then Spike says, I knew the only thing better than killing a Slayer is... And then Buffy's like, yeah, get off of me. Is that what this is for you? Is this just a conquest? You wanted to fuck a Slayer? And then Spike's like, come on, dude. Like, don't act like you're not into this. You know that vampires get you hot. And Buffy's like, only one vampire ever got me hot. And he left. And he's the only one that I would ever care about. And the only reason I'm hooking up with you is because you're convenient. And Spike is like, how dare you? And then Buffy goes through the whole rigmarole. Oh, this was a mistake. Yes, this is a mistake. And if you ever tell anyone that this happened, I'll kill you. And Spike's like, all right, I'll see you tonight.
Dude, his timing with the Slayer line was just like, if you say that after you have sex with her, it's still bad, but at least you're going to have sex with her beforehand. Dude. I mean, everyone was
should have said
it.
Yeah. You know when he should have said it is after Buffy left and he has that little monologue to himself.
Yes.
That they love to do here. Yeah. Like she slams the door and he goes, oh, man, the only thing better than killing this Slayer is fucking one.
Then he winks at the camera.
Yeah. He has to say it to the shark head guy, the lone shark.
Yeah.
As he's giving him his 40 cats.
Oh my god. The fact that he like held up the underwear and gets punched in the face at the end of the scene too.
Oh yeah. You sure you don't want these? Just punches him and he's like, maybe my name is Randy. But like, people like this. This is toxic as fuck, dude.
Yeah. And I mean, I guess it's meant to be shown to be toxic, but it's so hard to tell what they're going for.
I mean, she straight up says, no, stop. And Spike says, make me. And is just like going up her long leather skirt.
He knows her no's are maybes.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
to quote AOC, no doesn't mean no. No means find another way.
I think you used that as the quote.
Alexandra something Cortez. Octavia?
No.
Whatever. I don't know politics. And I shouldn't. You wouldn't want me.
You just got a great praise on Discord for
I know.
And then you just do that.
I know.
Just all your goodwill just gone.
Yep. Let me just
you're like, whoa,
burn that to the ground.
People are liking that? No.
You're forgetting who you're talking about? This is Joe. Sloppy Joe.
I'll show them.
So back at the Summers home, Tara is making pancakes for Dawn. They couldn't care at all where Willow or Buffy. There's not a worry in the world.
I will
except
say
for Dawn
I
now.
worry.
Dawn does worry.
I mean, I'd be a little worried, but I'd also know I wouldn't be able to do anything.
Yeah. It's like, well, I guess they're dead.
If something killed a Slayer and a witch, then I got no chance.
Fair enough. But yeah, Dawn starts to kind of get worried. She's like, well, where is everybody? Like, this is kind of weird that they're not here yet. And then Willow and Amy show up and they stumble through the door and then Willow introduces Tara to Amy. She's like, hey, Tara, this is Amy. And Tara's like, yeah, where the fuck were you guys all night? And then Willow's like, no, I don't think you heard me. This is Amy, as in Amy the rat? And Tara's like, yeah, cool. You figured out how to do it. How'd you do that? And well, I guess I just kind of figured out how to do it. And then they're like, well, where were you guys? Why were you out all night? And then Amy's like, yo, let me tell you what we were doing all night. We were doing all kinds of crazy spells. We were changing the band. We were levitating people. We made a bunch of sheep appear. Let me tell you, dude, Willow, she's a mega powerful witch now. She was doing some crazy spells like I didn't even think I could do. She's way more powerful than me. She was like doing all kinds of dimensional portals and shit like that. And Willow's like, shut the fuck up, Amy. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. And Amy's like, sorry. It was just like my first night out. I got excited to be doing some witchcraft stuff. And, is that pancakes? I'm going to eat that pancake. And she walks over, just like takes a pancake. And she's like, yeah, I got sick of eating pellets for forever. And I was like, correction, those are flakes. Rat.
It's nice to know they were feeding her consistently.
I know. Cheese and pellets. Nice charcuterie. Rat charcuterie.
Rat charcuterie.
And then Tara's like, okay, Great. You guys were out doing spells all night long. This is why I broke up with you, Willow. So I'm going to leave. Now that you're home, I feel good enough to leave. I'm going to leave. And then Willow's like, wait. And Tara's like, no, I'm out of here. So Tara leaves, and just as Tara leaves, Buffy comes home. And then Buffy's beaten to shit. Like, she's got black eyes and bruises all over her face and stuff. And Dawn's like, ooh, Buffy, what's going on? You're all sore and limp. And Buffy's like limping around. I'm like, yo.
They're choosing their words real specifically.
Yeah. They're like, oh, you're limping. Oh, what were you out all night getting all bruised up, huh? Buffy's like, yeah, it's one of those all night long patrols, you know what I'm saying? And Dawn's like, yeah. Anyway, yeah, it's must have got stretched out, I think, it's over too. And Buffy's like, yeah. She's like, oh, cool. So Buffy is then like, Willow, you didn't come home? Where were you? And Willow's like, don't worry about it. Where were you? And Buffy's like, don't worry about it. And then Willow's like, you know what? I need to go and I need to get some sleep. Amy's like, I'm going to go home. My dad's probably worried about where I am. So Amy's leaving. And Dawn's like, okay, I guess everybody's going to get some sleep. I guess I'm just going to be bored. All right, I guess that's fine. So
yeah,
can't have Dawn be bored for more than 1 second.
I know. You know, most 15-year-old girls just want to hang out with their parental figures.
Right.
I don't know. She went so far. She was such a rebellious teen like 2 episodes ago, and now she's back to like, I don't know what to do without my mommy and my friend, like my adult friends.
Yeah. And I feel like this is the age too where like you wouldn't want to hang out with your sister. Be like, my sister's lame.
Yeah.
Like, you're embarrassing me.
Yeah, or like
it's different if you're.
But also they're going to sleep and they're also don't ever let you go anywhere. And now you're like, fuck it, I'm gonna go. Like,
yeah,
I'm gonna leave the house.
It's also probably the safest time to leave is daytime.
Yeah, they always want to go out at night. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
you need to see matinee movies. And like pre-daylight savings. Like, you get home before the sun goes down.
Yeah.
I want to bring up though. Amy says, oh, I gotta go. My dad's waiting for me. Yeah. When did she talk to her dad?
Yeah, like last episode, she was like, I don't want to talk to my dad because he's probably worried about where I've been for the 3 years.
So they've been out all night doing witchcraft, and she called her dad like, hey, Dad, I'm alive. I'll see you in the morning.
Yeah, I don't know.
So that was a weird line. And then we never really figured out where Amy and Willow went to.
Yeah, because in the recap, they talk about like, we need to go somewhere bigger. We need to do something bigger than this.
Yeah.
I'm guessing maybe they went to the play. No, because they.
No.
Yeah, I have no idea where they went.
They teased it like it was like, oh shit, where are they going to go? And this episode, they were like, well, we were just out all night.
Yeah.
What did they do?
Yeah, when they teased that, like, we got to go do something bigger.
Yeah.
Like, I was expecting them to, like, start levitating the high school or some shit. Like,
yeah, see some shit on the news where it's like, oh my God, like some, like, random Ghostbusters level craziness.
Yeah. Well, we don't get to see it, and it's just swept under the rug.
Yeah.
So, Willow goes to bed, and she's like, the blinds are all open. So she's like, I can't sleep with the blinds open. So she tries to close the blinds with magic. And it doesn't work. And she tries it again. It doesn't work. She's like, what the hell? And she gets up and she closes the blinds manually. Manually.
like, oh, what am I doing?
Yeah, she's like, ugh. What is this third world country bullshit? Ugh. But she closes them and she like lays back down. And she like looks back at the blinds. She's like a little weirded out. She's like, what's going on here? And then we go over to the magic box. And
wait, I wanted to bring up, Willow just gets into the bed with her jacket and shoes on to go to sleep. I get being tired and passing out, but you're going to kick the shoes off.
Yeah, at least.
At minimum.
Yeah.
And that wasn't like a comfortable jacket to fall. It was like a leather jacket or something.
Yeah. Not the best bed attire, but
if you're on a couch and you fall asleep like that, sure.
yeah. Yeah. No, the shoes, like they were like leather heeled boots too. Like so anyway, and I didn't realize this until this scene, but we go over to the magic box where Xander and Anya are researching, and it seems like they've just like Xander and Anya have taken a real back seat in the last couple like they are just in the magic box researching, and they only get like one scene.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh man, I kind of miss them.
I think they're going to get bigger stuff though, because I mean, they're getting married and all that. So, but
they have to.
This one, they're just repeating the usual magic nonsense.
Yeah. They're like, still can't find anything on these diamond thief demons that freeze people, referencing the trio.
Yeah.
And Xander's like, you find anything yet, Anya? And she's like, no, I'm still looking. Then he like peers over her shoulder, and she's got a wedding magazine like being hid by some kind of research books. And Xander's like, oh, come on, Anya, you're not even fucking researching. You're just like looking at wedding stuff. And she's like, come on, dude, are you serious? We're not going to find shit, okay? There's no demon that does that. So I might as well just focus on what we're actually going to focus on. We're getting married. That's kind of a bigger deal than this bullshit. And then they're like, oh, geez, all right, well, that's weird. And she makes some kind of reference to Martha Stewart, or Xander's like, I don't think Martha Stewart's the demon that we're looking for. And Anya's like, well, that's because Martha Stewart's not a demon. She's a witch. And they're like, what? She's like, yeah, nobody can do that kind of household accoutrement and not be a witch. And they're like, haha, but
yeah.
So then Xander kind of admits, he's like, yeah.
That reminds me of like Dennis Rodman is an alien and like Men in Black.
Yeah.
Not a great disguise.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's exactly the same type of beat. Yeah.
But then Xander's kind of like, he closes his book and he's like, yeah, you know what, honestly, we're not going to find shit. Like, we've been researching for days and we can't find anything on this demon. And then Buffy's sitting there and Xander is like, why don't we hit up Spike? Maybe Spike knows something about that. And Buffy's like, no, not going to hit up Spike for shit. I'm not talking to Spike. Spike sucks. And they're like, okay.
I know I trusted him to watch over my fake monk and induced sister when I die, but no.
Yeah. And then Anya is like, well, maybe we could get Willow to do something. We could get Willow to do some kind of magic spell to figure it out. And Buffy's like, Willow was out hanging out with Amy the rat. And they're not shocked at all that Amy the rat has been turned back. Like, Xander or Anya doesn't have like a moment of like, wait, she figured it out?
Yeah.
They're just Xander, like, oh yeah, Amy.
And Xander knows her. Like Anya, yeah. Sure. Anya could be like, whatever.
Yeah. But Xander's just like, oh, okay. They're just hanging out doing magic all night. And Buffy's like, yeah, what's so wrong with that? And Xander's like, there's a lot wrong with that, because Amy's not going to have like the same amount of, hey, maybe you shouldn't be doing that Tara does. So Willow's just going out, just doing magic willy-nilly. And who knows what kind of crazy shit she's getting into, because Amy's not going to monitor her like Tara does. And Buffy's like, hey, Willow's a grown-up. She can do whatever she wants. She doesn't need to be monitored. She can. And then Buffy just starts rattling off excuses for Willow that double as a like excuse for her hooking up with Spike.
And I hate it.
Yeah.
I get it. I completely understand the double entendre-ness of it and like layering it. But comparing the two things just isn't. I think I had figured out the reason that this bothers me so much is that they never had a hash out about her being ripped from heaven. Mm-hmm. It's been acknowledged, but there's never been a sit down talk about it, right?
Yeah, we need to get everybody in a room like, hey, sorry, we fucked up.
So for me, that still lingers in my mind, that Buffy should still be harboring some feelings about that. Because one, Willow has never really apologized for it. The only time she kind of said, I'm sorry, was like before she erased everyone's memory. So they never had they never really had it like, hey, this happened. let's try to talk about it. I'm still going to have some feelings, but at least it's out in the open and talked about. I mean, she sung it. She told everyone got weepy-eyed, and then they started singing into nothing at a stage, and then she made out with the vampire. Like, where's
they need to have like a Scooby, like all hands on deck meeting of like, hey, we all know what's going on here. We fucked up, and Buffy needs to either forgive him or not. Like they need to have a talk.
Well, I just can't. It's just really hard to have Buffy be like defending Willow, even though she's like defending herself. But it's like that's like main person you would be upset with.
Yes.
So
yeah. Again, like you said, like I understand what they're going for, but Buffy should be fucking pissed, dude. Yeah. She should be pissed at Willow. Not even like take out her being ripped from heaven. She should be pissed at her for wiping her memory. Yeah. Like wiping everybody's memory. And also being like an abusive girlfriend to Tara. Like mentally abusive. Which
I guess she just found out in this episode, but she didn't know because she's in her own world. Like it's weird to tell like what Buffy actually... Well, someone brought up on Discord, they overheard Giles and Willow arguing about her use of magic. And then all of her friends... Anya and Xander are like, Willow's using too much magic. And then Buffy's thinking, oh yeah, I was kind of ripped from heaven because of magic. But no, I don't want you guys coming down on Willow because this reflects poorly on my decisions. And I was like, no, you hooking up with Spike is a whole different weirdness.
Yeah, you hooking up with Spike isn't putting everyone in danger. Yeah. It's just like an embarrassing thing.
Which they try to tie together at the end of this episode that it is putting everyone in danger, which I don't get at all. I don't get that statement. But again, I know what they're trying to do. It just doesn't sit right with me. Yeah.
But Buffy's making all kinds of excuses for Willow, and I'm just like, I don't buy it.
Anybody else could do it. Somebody else could do it. Like if Anya was like, hey, sometimes we need her powers and blah, blah, blah. I'd be like, fine. Even if Dawn was have Dawn be the defender of Willow.
Yeah. Because she's like attached to Willow and Tara as like parental figures at this point, apparently.
Yeah, she was here when you weren't here. She protected me. I didn't think you were coming back. Like I could see like being defensive for Willow at that point.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
But speaking of Willow, she and Amy are walking down Main Street and they're like, what kind of crazy magical hijinks are we going to get into tonight? Willow's like,
I love that she just saw her dad for a day. Yeah. Just came back from like being gone for like 3 years. And she's like, all right, good night, Dad. I'm going to go back out.
Yeah. Don't you think there'd be like a family dinner at least? You know what I mean? Well, isn't it like her dad doesn't approve of the magic? Because that's like,
he doesn't. I don't know what lie. I don't know what lie she said or where she was, but they just brushed over that.
Yeah. So they're like, well, what kind of magical hijinks are we going to get into tonight, Willow? And Willow's like, maybe we should take it a bit easy. Like this morning, like I tried to close my blinds with magic and I couldn't do it. Like I got fucked up last night from using all of my magic power. Like I couldn't really do magic today. So maybe we should like relax a little bit. And I was like, that's something that can happen? I didn't know that was something that could happen.
We've kind of seen it. Like when she did the teleportation thing, she got a headache. When she did the spell to bring back Buffy, she was weak.
Yeah, I guess so.
It's fine. It's fine.
But then Amy's like, oh, you lost magic? Well, I know a guy that can do magic and he can make spells last for days. And Willow's like, really? Color me interested.
You knew about this guy in high school because, again, you've been a rat for 3 years.
Right? This is when stuff really starts to take a turn for me where I'm like, wait a minute, how does Amy know all of this?
Yeah, she's like, oh, I'm plugged in. I'm really plugged in. I've been a human for a day now.
So then Amy's like, come on, it's not that bad. It's not that scary. Like, let's just go. I'll introduce you to him. And Willow's like, all right, sure, whatever. I'm game. So then they just go into this dark alley.
I don't even think Sunnydale has streets. I think it's mostly dark alleys.
Yeah. And then Willow's like, great. Thanks for taking me to a dark alley. This is where he is. This is just a fucking alley. There's nothing here. And then Amy's like, shh, 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 shh. Let me show you, idiot. He's got his place cloaked. Check this out. And then she like puts out her hand and it starts to wiggle like jello and like there's a portal.
Like the Master's border. Like
yeah.
Master's like can't get out of the Hellmouth.
Yeah. And then so Amy walks through it and she's like, come on, Willow, it's going to be super cool. And then Willow's like, all right, fine, I'm going to go. And then they walk through it and then they go into this like rundown crack den where there's a bunch of junkies just hanging out. And Willow's like not suspicious at all. She's looking around like, oh, these are just some regular upstanding people.
It looks like a 1980s free clinic waiting room.
Yeah, dude. Yes. Or like a rundown motel, like where only like bad stuff is happening. Mm-hmm. So then this guy comes out from behind, like he's in like this back room and he comes out from the back room and Amy's like, oh my God, Willow, this is the guy I was telling you about. His name is Rack.
I, for the longest time, thought his name was Wreck because of the episode, but it's Rack.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, this is the benefits of subtitles. You get to watch it with closed captioning. Yeah. His name is Rack.
Yeah.
And he's like this cracked out looking dude. Like one of his eyes is fucked up. He's got scraggly gray hair and he's like, oh, hey, why don't you come on back here with me, you little girls? And they're like, okay, sure.
And this actor has been in Buffy before.
Mm.
He is a returning actor, not a returning character.
As who?
He played Kralik.
You kidding me?
I'm not kidding you. This is actor Jeff Kober who played Kralik.
Kralik, one of the most legendarily, he's still up there with like one of my favorite one-off villains. Mm-hmm. Like he was awesome. He had a nice little backstory.
Yeah. And remember, he was addicted to drugs in that.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
He was. Holy guacamole.
So he's also been in like Sons of Anarchy and The Walking Dead. It's Always Sunny. He was in an episode where they go to a gun auction and he's selling guns or something. He's been around. He's been in a bunch of stuff. But I saw this guy's face and I was like, I recognize him from something. And I was like, is that Kralik?
There's a person in the Angel episode that we're going to talk about today that I immediately recognized. I was like, are you serious?
And we were just talking about that person.
Yeah.
we
Thursday,
hung out recently.
Yeah, we hung out. Yeah, man. So patreon.com/Boys Watching Buffy.
Yeah.
But Rack takes him into like his back room and Amy's like, it's been so long since I've seen you. You'll never guess where I've been. And Rack is like, you're a rat.
That's so funny. That line delivery killed it.
Yeah. And Amy's like, what? How do you know? And he's like, I can smell it all over your aura. And then he looks over at Willow and he's like, ooh, this one's got a lot of power. And Willow's like, I mean, maybe a little bit of power. I mean, I'm not that crazily powerful. And Willow's like, I only know a couple of spells, but I basically went through and I did all the spells that I know how to do. And Rack is like, bro, I can show you some crazy ass spells and I can unlock some of your power to take you to like crazy magical depths that you would never even know. And Willow's like, yeah, sure, that sounds good.
Can he?
And then I have no idea.
I have no idea what he's doing.
But he's like, yeah, I can help you, but you gotta help me. And he starts like caressing her hair. And I was like, ugh, I don't like where this is going. And he's like, it's only fair, right?
You don't get it, Joe. This is just like a normal relationship in the Buffyverse.
So Willow's like, okay, yeah, I guess that's fair. And then he goes, you just got to give me a little taste. let me take a tour. And he takes his hand and he puts it to her chest. And then they start having like these like O faces. And Willow's like, and Rack is like, oh yeah. Yeah. And then he takes his hand off of her and he goes and he whispers into her ear, you taste like strawberries. And Willow, I have in my notes here, Willow is in witch bliss.
Nice. Yeah.
And then it's just gross. And like, I gotta say, what is witchcraft a double for? Because when she's doing witchcraft with Tara, it's like sex. And here, when she's doing it with Rack, it's like sex. But then from now on in this episode, it's like doing morphine and heroin and meth and all kinds of crazy drugs.
Yeah. I remember when Riley was getting suck jobs and I was like, oh, this kind of feels like a drug den. And you were like, this is more like a sex thing. And it kind of floated the line of both, you know, but now they're doing it again. Because I know I predicted that they might have to do like some type of exorcism on Willow to get like a real, like something's making her do magical witchcraft more. Because I was like, they're not getting rid of Willow as a character on this show. Like she's too important. I can't see there being another season of this without her. But if she kept doing what she was doing, they need to kill her. Like,
yeah, absolutely.
But now they're like, well, what can we do? Oh, she's addicted to magic. You know, like all the other witches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then we cut from Willow being in witch bliss, having her little O face tasting like strawberries, to Amy and Willow just tripping balls off of magic. Amy's just like spinning around like a dipshit, like, ah! Willow is like on the ceiling, just tripping balls. Just, you can tell that they're tripping balls because they have, you know, the craziest trip hop music playing in the background. And Willow's hallucinating at this point. She's like seeing a forest and trees and green stuff, and she's like, ha, 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 ha. But then through the jungle, a demon shows up and he's like, ah. And then Willow's like, whoa, what the fuck is that? And then she like falls from the ceiling, and then she like hallucinates being transported to the magic box and the bronze. And then she wakes up in her room at Buffy's house. And she's like, what the fuck? I'm tripping fucking balls, bro.
Yeah. I wonder if that her being on the ceiling was like a reference to that movie Trainspotting that had the baby climbing on the ceiling. A lot of drug use in that one.
Yeah.
I wanted to bring this up earlier, and it seems random, but Amy looked pretty good spinning around, you know? And I was wondering do you think Amy's going to like flirt with Xander and cause a little tension?
I was going to ask you this at the end of the episode. Do you think we see Amy anymore after this episode? Because it seems like she's just gone.
I think we do, but I hate what they've done with her already. It seems like a waste of... It seemed like they handed off her job. Yeah. Like she was supposed to be the bad influence, and it seems like they were like, all right, I'm a bad influence. All right, my job's done. You're on your own now. Yeah. And I wanted attention of like two bad witches. Like, you know, it's not even... It's something that we would have seen, like Amy goes too far. Like you said, Willow like has to stop Amy. Like, that's still fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd rather see that.
I'm not sure what lies ahead for Amy, because where she's at the end of this episode, I'm like, bro.
Dude.
Yeah.
It's been a day.
I mean, she was a rat for 3 years, though. Maybe she did just fly off the handle a little bit, but this makes it seem like... We'll talk about it later.
When you bring it up later, I want to ask you, rat specific questions.
Yeah, I got a couple of questions as well.
Okay.
But yeah, so anyway, Willow wakes up in her room from tripping balls, and then she takes like a sad shower, like a weird, like, oh man, where's my life going? I don't know what I'm doing. And she's crying in the shower, and then she comes out.
I've never seen a shower scene like this. Like, there's so much water coming out of her, like, hitting her face. And it's like, it's like not done in a stylistic way, you know? Like, it's just like pouring through her face. Yeah.
So she's done with the shower. She comes out into her room. She's in her little robe, and she sees a box of Tara's stuff that she referenced earlier. She's like, oh, you still got a bunch of stuff here? And Tara's like, I'll come get it later. Bye. But she looks at Tara's stuff, and then she lays out an outfit that Tara has never worn. And I don't think that she would.
I could see her wearing that. It's very musical. It's very that Once More with Feeling vibe.
Yeah. So she lays out this Tara outfit, and she does a spell to like puff it up with air, like there's a person in it. And then she cuddles this air person because she misses Tara so much, and the air person cuddles her back.
I wrote creepy.
But like, it's like sad creepy.
Yeah, I don't know what level of feeling they wanted.
Yeah, it was
like I wasn't.
It's like
when she first did it, I was like, is she gonna make her here? Is she gonna make her fully appear? Because we see it inflating, and I was like, if there is like a weird double of Tara that she created for herself, that is gonna be gross. But then it's just like clothing hugging her, and it's like supposed to be sad, but it's also like the problem is Willow using too much magic. So using magic as a comforting, it was and I think that's kind of what they're going for.
Yeah, and I feel like it's also a like sympathy thing where you're like, oh, I can understand why she would turn to doing magic drugs because she's so sad and lonely because she was doing too much magic drugs.
But they did the magic drugs because they got burned out from doing too much magic.
This is why I'm confused about like what magic is. You know what I mean? Like,
first you got to read and study in a book, but now you just have to touch some random guy that floats around in a portal. How much did they pay that guy? What did they give him?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess just
what
that
did he get
chest grab.
Yeah.
You have to grab Willow's boobs, I guess.
Well, something. I would think that. But then what we find out later, it seems like she needs actual items.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Like, the metaphor's all over the place, man.
Yeah. But anyway, after Willow's done cuddling with this air person, we go to Dawn, and Dawn's trying to cook. And Willow comes down, and she's all coming down from the high. She's a little strung out. She's like, Dawn's like, I'm cooking peanut butter and banana quesadillas, which actually sounds like pretty decently tasty. It's like a crepe.
Yeah, it's like a dessert crepe. But she's like got the thickest tortilla I've ever seen.
I know.
And she's got like a pita. It looks like pita bread.
Yeah.
And she's not using a spatula or anything, which you really don't have to if you're just flipping that. But she's 15. She has no idea what she's doing, apparently.
Fair enough. And she offers Willow some, and Willow's like, I think I'm just in water mode for now. I'm fucked up right now. And they're like, oh, where's Buffy? And Buffy's like, she's out doing some patrolling, and Willow, quote unquote, patrolling.
Trolling for tail.
Yeah. But Willow, after Dawn sits down and is done cooking, Willow apologizes to Dawn. She's like, hey, I'm sorry for not coming home last night. Like, I'm sorry I left you alone. And Dawn's like, don't worry about it. I'm fine on my own. I'm a big girl. I was like, yo, is she about to get kidnapped again? Like, Dawn's like, I'm fine on my own. It's like, are you though?
People just swing through the house and take her. That dragon that you were asking about just comes down and takes her.
Just like it comes through and like chomps her like the T-Rex in Jurassic Park with the guy.
Buffy's like the house.
Yeah.
The copper pipes.
This is literally the first time Dawn's been left on, but she wasn't on her own. You know, she was with Tara, but whatever. And then Willow's
their
like,
house
you know
is
what?
not a safe spot. That's what I don't get. Their house in the magic box, every place the safest place you could go is Xander's apartment or Xander's basement. Xander has all the safe spaces.
Xander's basement is safer than his apartment because we saw the Jinxes hanging out outside of Xander's apartment that one time.
No, but he also did get raided by like a demon at one point in his basement.
Oh, yeah. And his body double came to his apartment.
I mean, where else is the body double going to go?
Yeah, fair enough. But Willow's like, you know what, Dawn, to make up for kind of abandoning you and bailing on you last night, I'm going to stick around tonight. Well, let's just have a Willow and Dawn hangout night. And Dawn's like, that'd be so nice. We like that. And Willow's like, yeah, you know what? Let's go see a movie. Let's see a movie. Let's go out. Let's go see a movie. And Dawn's like, that sounds awesome, Willow.
Now, when she mentioned a movie at first, did you think they were just going to watch a movie at home?
Yes, I did.
She's like, let's
100%.
watch a movie. She didn't say let's go to the movie until like the dinner thing. And I was like, wait, you're going to go back out into Sunnydale's night?
Yeah.
And
you should know better.
Yeah, just order a pizza, hope that delivery guy isn't a vampire and doesn't die on the drive. And just watch a movie on the couch.
Dude, honestly, the Wish universe had the whole like curfew shit right.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did.
Like, as horrible as the Wish universe was or whatever, like they had that right of like everybody's dying at night in Sunnydale. Like there should be no deliveries going on in Sunnydale.
No. I mean, you're running a business and you got to get a new delivery driver every 2 minutes. Like, Postmates wouldn't even survive.
Yeah. Like the lawsuits. Good Lord. They'd have to sign like crazy waivers. Like if you're
just empty cars having to be towed off the street.
Yeah. So Willow and Dawn are going to go see a movie. So then Buffy comes home and she's like, is anybody home? Doesn't hear anything, but then she hears glass shattering. And she's like, hello? Who the fuck is in my house? She goes upstairs. She's investigating. She sees Willow's room is just wrecked and there's magic stuff just like strewn about.
You mean her mom's room? I mean.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Joyce's room. Yeah. What a head trip, dude.
I know.
The girl that ripped you from heaven is living in your dead mom's room. Good
I meant to bring this up last episode. When Amy goes, hey, sorry to hear about your mom to Buffy, right? Her last memory of Buffy's mom was Buffy's mom trying to set them on fire at the stake. That's why she turned herself into a rat.
That's so true. I didn't think about that.
So she's like, oh, sorry to hear about your mom. Whatever happened, burning all of us? Like,
yeah. Last I remember your mom, she was trying to kill me, you, and Willow.
Yeah.
Whatever happened with that? Good Lord.
Yeah.
This episode is brought to you by Skinny Pop Popcorn. Perfectly popped, endlessly delicious. Oh, so light and crunchy. Skinny Pop Original Popcorn is the snack you've been searching for. Made with just 3 simple ingredients: popcorn kernels, sunflower oil, and salt. Snacking never felt or tasted so good. Perfectly popped, endlessly delicious. Give yourself permission to snack and pick up Skinny Pop Original Popcorn today.
But Buffy goes into Willow's room and she's looking around and Amy is there and Amy's trying to sneak out behind Buffy's back and Buffy grabs her and Buffy's like, what the fuck are you doing here? And Amy's like, it's not what it looks like. I swear it's not what it looks like. I'm just hanging out. Willow said that I could take some of this stuff. Willow said I could do it. And Buffy like grabs like stuff from her.
Well, she has sage. And she's like, it's not what you think it is. It's sage. She's like, that's what I think it is.
Yeah,
we don't have marijuana.
What do you think I thought it was? Yeah,
in this world.
And it's like in a fucking little Ziploc baggie, like just like an addict. like a druggie.
And she's in that
Buffy's
hoodie.
like,
She's in the druggy hoodie.
Yeah. And Buffy's like, why are you in here and breaking in and stealing stuff? And Amy's like, you shouldn't even be freaked out about me. You shouldn't be freaked out about what I'm doing here. You should be worried about Willow. Willow's got it bad. She's got it worse than me. She's probably at his place right now. And Buffy's like, whose place? And Amy's like, Rack. And Buffy's like, who the fuck is Rack? And she's like, I said too much. And Buffy just like slams her up against the door. She's like, tell me who Rack is and where he is. And Amy's like, oh God, you're really strong. You could like pull your punches a little bit. And Buffy's like, I will pull my punches when you tell me what I want to know. And Amy's like, oh, it's hard to find Rack's place because he cloaks it and he's moving it all the time. And you're not going to be able to find him. And then Buffy just like grabs more stuff out of Amy's little crackhead zipper hoodie. And there's just like a bunch of like, magic chicken feet and magic shit. Stupid shit. And
which I don't
crystals.
get why she needs.
Yeah, I don't understand what magic is.
What is she using magic or is she taking that to give to Rack?
Remember 2 episodes ago, magic was making Tara come and float? 2 episodes ago, that's what magic was. And now it's heroin and meth.
Well, it's like, yeah, I don't know if like she needs the stuff to do magic because otherwise break into the magic box. That's the easiest place to go to. But
right?
I mean, Amy wouldn't have any money at all. I don't think like she wouldn't have any money.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, it's just a hard. They want to do the drug analogy metaphor thing, and it's just like, oh yeah, you know what? When you have drugs, you steal stuff. When you're addicted, you steal stuff from people that you know, and they like catch you and they hate you for it because you're pawning stuff for things. But they don't need to pawn. Is she gonna pawn the sage off?
Yeah, I don't know. Is she gonna like snort the sage? Like,
I don't know.
I wrote in my note here, and I was very proud of myself. I wrote, Amy rats out Willow.
Nice. I do have an issue with the order of these scenes, though. But yeah.
Okay. Oh, like the next scenes?
Yeah. I think this scene with Amy the rat should come after the next scene. But we'll talk about it.
So the next scene is Willow and Dawn walking around, and Dawn's like, May, yeah, this is really nice. This is going to be a really nice time, me and you. Like, we haven't really hung out in a while. And Willow's like, yeah, it's going to be a really good time. It's going to be fun. And Dawn is like, you hungry? You want something to eat? You didn't really eat anything.
Well, they ate. She was full.
Oh, yeah. But Willow didn't really eat anything at the dinner.
Oh, yeah, Willow didn't. Yeah.
Yeah, and Dawn's like, you didn't really eat anything. And Willow's like, I'm not that hungry. I'm saving up for popcorn. I'm saving up for snacks at the movie. And Dawn's like, oh, okay. And then Willow's like, so did you have fun with Tara the other day? And Dawn's like, yeah, but Tara's kind of sad. She's a little sad.
She's sad.
And Willow's like, oh. And she's like, yeah, but it's for the best, I guess. And like, yeah, I don't know. She's a little sad, but she's moving on. She moved into her new place. And Willow is like kind of sad that Tara isn't more sad, I think.
Again, Dawn, have a confrontation with Willow about her using magic. Ask her, do the girl talk thing. Like, what went down? What did you do? Like, why are they not talking like that? They're talking like she's like a 10-year-old that she's holding by the hand, Yeah.
And Willow just keeps asking about Tara. She's asking all these questions. Like, so what did she say anything about me? Is she saying anything about me? And then Dawn is like, yeah. She's sad, but like, she's moving on. She's moving on with her life. She's fine. By the way, like, where are we fucking going? Like, this isn't the normal way to get to the movies. And Willow's like, oh yeah. I'm just you're doing a shortcut. Don't worry. Just trying to get. We're just doing a shortcut. This is a secret way. And also, I need to like stop off somewhere before we go to the movies. Is that cool with you? And Dawn is like, all right. I mean, sure, but just can't stay too long because the movie is like at 9. We don't have that much time, but like, I guess we can stop off somewhere. And Willow's like, great, cool. Let's go. We're gonna go to my buddy my buddy's place is. His name is Rack. We're going to go over there. And Dawn's like, all right, cool, whatever. And let's, do you want to do your switching of the scenes breakdown? Or
then she just takes her to Rack's place and they're just waiting in there. But it sucks because Amy somehow is like, oh, Willow's taking Dawn to Buffy. And I don't know how this happened in the filming or production, or if they had to cut something or change it around. But Buffy catches Amy stealing. And then Amy is like, oh, Willow has it bad. She took Dawn to Rack's. She said that in the scene before.
She said something like, she's probably going to his place right now.
Yeah. Which then, when you see that Willow is actually going there, it's not a surprise anymore. That scene ruined the surprise. Because I really think Willow's like, hey, I need to get clean, right? Let's just go to the movies. So you're thinking, oh, they're walking to the movies. Then if she says, hey, I just need to stop real quick, you'd be like, oh, shit. And then if you had an Amy scene afterwards, Amy could have been at that place and left,
Mm-hmm.
She walked out when Dawn came in, all stumbly. And then she goes and she knows that Willow is there. So then she can go and steal shit or whatever. You don't actually have to see her there, but it just sucks that she told us what Willow was going to do. So we have this whole oh, I got to make a stop. That's already anticlimactic because then that's the climax of the end of the act break. But we already knew it was coming.
Yeah, that's true. And it also they were leading us to believe that Willow didn't want to be going down this path too. Because when she can't close the blinds with magic, she's like, oh, I don't like that. And then when she's before they go to Rack's, Willow's like, maybe we should take it easy. Yeah. And then afterwards, Willow's like, I got fucked up, man. I don't feel good. I need to sober up. I need to not do magic tonight. Mm-hmm. But then she's like, we're going to Rack's.
Yeah. I wanted to see that and then later have that. That's just the normal order that they normally do stuff. Someone does something, then Buffy's like, what's going on? And then someone gives the information. It was weird to get the information before the thing happened.
Yeah. If we would have saw them at dinner and then walking to the movies and you just see Willow scratching her neck, I gotta get my fix.
And that wouldn't even be beyond them doing that.
Yeah. Yeah. So they go to Rack's and we see Dawn just kind of sitting in the crack house and some junkie comes and sits next to her and she's like, get away from me, junkie. Yeah. And we see the clock and it's been more than an hour. The movie is supposed to be at 9 and you look at the clock and it's 10:05 or something like that.
Yeah.
And at that point I was like, yo, Dawn should be pissed. She should be like, yo, we've been here for over an hour. Mm-hmm. And you go see what Rack is doing to Willow, and he's doing all kinds of crazy spells on Willow, and he's just like, and Willow's flying through outer space, and she's like, whoa, dude, this is so fucking crazy, dude.
This is charging up my magic chi. Whoa.
Yeah.
I don't know what's happening.
Yeah, and then as she flies through outer space, she sees the demon from her earlier tripping balls experience, and the demon's carrying a unconscious body. Mm-hmm. And Willow's like, ah! And then Rack is just like, what does Rack think is happening?
I don't know, man.
Is Rack happy to see these people freaking out?
I don't know. Rack is going to come back, though. He's got a couple more episodes at least.
Okay. So then we go to Buffy, and Buffy shows up to Spike's place. And Spike is just fucking nude.
I wrote in my notes, Buffy goes to naked Spike for help finding Willow and Dawn.
Yeah, man. I mean, he's naked, I would say 40% of this episode.
Yeah.
So she barges in and Spike's like, oh, I'm back for more. And she's like, get dressed, Dawn's missing. And he's like, again?
I love that.
And he's like, what happened to her this time? And she's like, I think that she's with this guy named Rack. You know anything about him? And he's like, Rack? Are you serious? She's with Rack? That guy's bad news. He's deals in all this crazy, dark, evil, trip hop tripping balls magic. And Buffy's like, yeah, that's why we got to go find Dawn because Willow's there. And then Spike stands up and he's naked and Buffy turns around. She's like, oh God. And then Spike's like, relax, dude. This was inside of you like earlier today.
Because we've had weird Discord discussions of how vampires might always be hard. Because that's what happens on Discord.
Yeah, man, our Discord rules.
We're getting into the weeds now, man.
Yeah, I mean, there's been like heavy like breakdowns and paragraphs and essays written about.
We're talking about like the physiology of vampires way too deep.
Yeah, and like, are their dicks cold?
There's so much headcanon going on. And we're never
canon. Yeah, Buffy was getting some headcanon, you know what I'm saying?
Oh man.
But yeah, I love that. Like Spike, she turns around and he goes, "Oh yeah, hide your blushing eyes."
I know you're going to talk about this in Joe's fashion report /corner, but Buffy's wearing that black turtleneck with the chain. It's a very interesting look.
Yeah,
for this episode, and like, I'm not sure if they're trying to go with a closed off purity, like a church thing, because it's like drugs and demons. I don't know. I'm wondering the meaning behind it. Maybe we'll find out when we get the commentary from our boy Joe Dean.
Yeah, Joe Dean, shout out.
Yeah,
commentary god, DVD commentary god. Also, Joe Dean, thanks for breaking that stuff down for us. It's like. We appreciate it, and the rest of the Discord appreciates it. It's super cool to get like this little behind the scenes.
Yeah,
so just shout out Joe Dean. All right,
Sloppy Joe, get back in.
Sloppy Joe, shout out for Joe Dean, the commentary god.
Now Joe Dean's will start adding more stuff to it.
I know. Yeah, this last couple of commentary breakdowns have been. I was like, man, I am scrolling. But so then we go back to the crack den, Rack's place, the rack den, and we look at the clock again, and it's been over 2 hours at this point that Dawn has been there, and Dawn is sitting, she's worried, and then she's like, you know what, fuck this, this is ridiculous. So she starts to walk to the back to where Willow would be, and Willow is just coming out, and Dawn's like, dude, what the fuck? Where have you been? Like, it's been 2 hours. And then you see Willow, and Willow's got those big black witch eyes. And she is like tripping balls, dude.
The black witch eyes are now doubling for dilated pupils.
I guess so, man.
Yeah, they're really going for it now.
Yeah, and Willow is just all strung out. And she's like, hey, Dawn, how's you doing? And Dawn's like, what the fuck were you doing back there? And Willow's like, don't worry about it. Just some fucking really cool witch stuff. Let's go see the movie. And Dawn's like, the movie's over. Like, that was so long ago. And Willow's like, we could still go see maybe a late night show. Come on, this is going to be such a party pooper. And then so they leave and they're walking through the alley. And you see like the point of view of a demon that's stalking them from behind. Mm-hmm. And Willow's like, come on, Dawn, this would be such a killjoy. We're having fun. This is fun, dude. This is fun.
Is it Willow wearing like a full coat and jacket, and Dawn is dressed like just a pullover?
Dawn's got a sweater on.
Yeah.
A sweater and jeans, and Willow's got like a long coat. Yeah. Again, like you never know what the fucking weather is in this place.
I guess that's just California. So that vibe here is, yeah. I wore fleece the other day.
Yeah, sometimes like if you're like walking in the sun, it's hot as balls, and then you walk in the shade and it's like frigid. It's so bizarre.
Yeah, if you go out and it's like 10 o'clock and then it's 1 o'clock, 1 p.m., there's a whole 20-degree change.
Yeah. I mean, even like if you go out, it's like 68 degrees. Mm-hmm. You have no idea how to dress. No idea. If you're in the sun, your t-shirt, but the second you turn a corner and you're like behind a building and there's shade, you need to put on a fucking jacket. It is freezing.
Yeah, and it depends on if you're closer to the valley or the east side, or if you're closer to the beach on the west side in Santa Monica. Like,
I was explaining to my parents came to visit, and I was explaining to them, like, hey, it says it's like 66 out right now, but it's 10 in the morning. So that 66 is way hotter than the 66 that it will be at like 5 o'clock tonight. And my parents were like, this weather out here is really complicated. I'm like, you have no idea.
just always bring something if you're going to be out at night, because it gets cool. It doesn't stay hot at night. Yeah.
And that's Weather Talk with Joe and the most boring tangent that we've ever had on this podcast.
People want more tangents, we're going to give it.
Oh, yeah, they did. They require. But anyway, so, Willow and Dawn are walking around, and they're getting stalked by the demon from Willow's hallucinations. So then we got Spike and Buffy. They're on the hunt for Dawn. They're looking for Dawn because Spike can sense where Rack is hiding his stuff, is hiding his like crack den, the rack den, because he can sense the dark energy because he's a vampire.
Sure.
And Buffy's like, did you find it yet? Do you sense anything yet? And Spike is like, no, dude, I will let you know when I do. And Buffy's like, are you just drawing this out because you want to be around me? And Spike's like, dude, don't flatter yourself. And Buffy's like, why wouldn't I flatter myself? You literally do this shit all the time. And Spike's like, no, I don't. Shut up. Which is like, he totally does do that kind of stuff.
Yeah. It's, once the scene happened, I was zoning out. I was like, I've seen this thing.
Yeah. And then Spike is like, would it be such a bad thing to be hanging out with me? And Buffy turns. She's like, that was a mistake. And I'm disgusted with myself for hooking up with you. And last night was the most perverse, degrading experience of my life. And Spike goes, yeah, me too. And Buffy's like, no, it's not like that.
That's why I was thinking her outfit had something to do with like this purity, like the full like turtleneck black. I don't know. And she's like, this is the most perverse thing. And she's kind of got like a priest like look, like a clergy,
she's like trying to cover herself
person.
up. Yeah. But they keep walking, and Spike is like, look, dude, I know what this is, and you know what? You're taking advantage of this. You know that I fucking love you, and you'll just like take advantage of that, and I'll be here whenever it's most convenient for you, and yada yada yada. And then Spike just like, or Buffy turns to him, and she's like, no, Spike, you don't understand. Like, this isn't going to happen. I want you out of my life. I don't want you in my life. And Spike's like, then why do you keep fucking coming to my place? Why did you come to my place to help you with Dawn? Because you want to use me, because you know I love you. And like, it's too late, dude. Like, I'm in your life. And then he keeps saying like these weird things about like, I've been invited inside. I'm always going to be in. And I'm like, what is this?
I'm in your system. Kind of,
yeah. He's like, I'm in your system. It's too late. Like, you've invited me. Like, I've been inside. And I was like, is this going to be some kind of reference like that? Like, is this leading to something later on? You know what I mean?
We can't handle another invitation rule situation.
Yeah, like once he's invited, he's always invited. It's like, bro, that's not how consent works, okay? That is not how it works at all.
I do like that he brought up that I'm part of your work now. Like, you can't even do this job without me. And it's like, yeah, I mean, I'll bring that up later with Willow. Like, yeah.
Yeah. But then we go to Willow and Dawn, and they're walking around, and Willow's like still all strung out, and Dawn's like, dude, I don't like this. It's late. You're being really fucking weird. I'm going to go home. And Willow's like, you're not going to go home, pussy. Don't go home. And then Dawn hears some rustling. She's like, Willow, I hear something. What is that? And Willow's like, it's probably a fucking cat.
Oh, is that the cat from the dream?
It's the cat from the dream, dude.
Yeah, instead of like chasing the dragon for heroin, they're chasing the cat.
Yeah. But it's not a cat. It's the demon that Willow was hallucinating. The demon shows up and Willow's like, whoa, what the fuck is that thing? And the demon's like, it's me. I'm the demon. You summoned me with your magic. And Willow's like, what? No way. No, it didn't. And the demon swipes at Dawn and cuts her face. And I was like, damn, all right, this is getting real. And then Dawn chest kicks it and it falls and they just run away. I was like, what, dude? What?
Okay, so I started to write that down in my notes. That I was like, this demon can be chest kicked by a 15-year-old girl and like stumble backwards. And I was like,
just does a nice little teep on him, like just a nice little pushback kick.
Yeah. And I was like, fine, I'll let it slide because we got to get to the car. And that's the best way.
Mm-hmm.
But it was ridiculous to see. And I did like that Willow thinks it's fake because it's all like this imaginary thing. Even though every time she's seen it, she screamed.
Yeah. But yeah, so Willow and Dawn run away and they see a car and they're like, we're not going to be able to outrun it. It's too fast. It's like, bro, you've been outrunning it. Like,
it's not even on the screen.
Yeah. They like turn a corner and they're like, we can't outrun it. It's like 5 seconds, 10 seconds behind. Like, so they run. Willow sees a car. She's like, open. Doors fly open. They get in the car. Drive. The car turns on and they start driving. And then Willow starts doing the most insane drunk driving, like a maniac, like, ha ha ha, this is fun. And Dawn's like, no. And they're like swerving all over the place. And Willow's just yucking it up.
Yeah.
And Willow's not even really looking at where she's driving. And at the climax of this scene, she turns around completely and she looks at the demon that's chasing behind her and she goes, ha ha, so long, scuzz. And they just crash into like a beam.
And that's the end of the episode.
Yep.
They're
and Dawn and Willow die.
Yeah.
Of course not. That's not where we end. Dawn wakes up and she's got a big old bloody head and Willow's just knocked out. Dawn gets out of the car. Don't know why she would do that. Like, I would stay in the car and like try and wake Willow up.
I don't know. I can't judge her in a fully shocked system of being in a
yeah, you know
wreck.
what? I guess she's like concussed or something.
And it seems like her arm's broken. Like,
oh yeah, that's true. Yeah,
I don't know if I'd just be. Yeah.
So Dawn gets out of the car. She walks over to Willow and she's like, oh my God, she's knocked out. But while she's trying to wake Willow up, she gets attacked by the demon and she crawls under the car. The demon grabs her and Spike and Buffy hear this from across the street. They hear Dawn.
So convenient that they're in the right spot.
Right?
They didn't hear the car crash?
Right?
That car crash would have been loud as shit.
But the demon just like chucks Dawn and then like he's about to attack Dawn.
He does that thing where he's like, I'm going to wait to get tackled.
Yeah. Well, he like throws Dawn and Dawn's like, ow, and she's like struggling to get up. And
I do like Dawn. I do like Dawn when she was under the car. Not a great move, but she had nowhere else to go. But then she throws like gravel in its face. I thought that was a good, solid move. Yeah,
but what isn't a solid move is this demon starts doing like a little dance.
Oh my God, the neck thing? The little shoulder.
Yeah. I was like, what are you doing?
I kind of like that because if you're the actor in that makeup, you got to milk it. You got to add a little flair to it.
Fair enough. It was just like edited weird because it like cut to Dawn and it cut to the demon and it looks like it's a foot away from Dawn and then it cuts back to Dawn and then it cuts back to the demon who's doing a little dance and he's like now 5 feet away from Dawn. I was like, something's not adding up here.
They're like, well, yeah, you could cut it a little tighter so it looks like he's really about to go for her.
Yeah. But the demon walks over to Dawn and he's about to attack her and Dawn screams and Buffy just comes from out of nowhere and she tackles the demon away from Dawn and they start fighting. Dawn gets away. Spike is like looking after Dawn. Buffy does like one of those Matrix kicks where it's like three jumps in the air and it lands a kick.
Yeah.
And then after they're fighting for a little bit, the demon starts to like hyperventilate, and then it just like burns up. And I was like, all right, okay. And Buffy's even like, oh, so now you just disappear like that? Oh, weird. So then Willow shows up.
No, you didn't see that Willow was behind her doing that?
Oh, yes.
Willow is standing off to the back left of that frame when it's freezing, and she's like, oh, now you're scared? Because Buffy's still cocky. You be getting your ass handed to you this fight, Buffy. It's not. It hasn't been a one-sided fight. And then like Willow just like burns up this demon, which she could have done when she first saw it, apparently.
I guess so.
But she wanted to fucking drive away. Because they don't care about demon. They don't care if that demon just is roaming the streets.
Yeah. But Willow like walks over to Buffy, and Willow's got like her crazy blacked out eyes. Mm-hmm. And she's like, Buffy, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. And then Buffy and Spike like go over to Dawn, and they're checking on Dawn. And Willow's like, is she okay? Is everything okay? And then Buffy's like, Willow, stay away. Stay away from us. Stay away from Dawn. Stay away. And Willow's like, no, is she okay? Is everything okay? I'm sorry. And then Dawn stands up, and Willow goes up to Dawn. She's like, I'm so sorry, Dawn. I didn't mean to do it. And Dawn just hauls off and slaps Willow in the face. And I was like, yeah, okay, cool.
It would have been really more powerful if Dawn was the one defending Willow for all this time, you know? And then,
because then it's like, you made me look like a jackass.
Yeah.
Like I was defending you and you made me look bad.
And also, it would have given Dawn something to do. Because I got to say, last couple episodes, Dawn has just been like not. Yeah, she is.
I mean, she's Dawn. Typical Tuesday, Dawn damsel in distress.
Yeah, like give her something.
But they all start to walk away, and Willow starts crying. She's like, please, guys, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do it. I'm sorry. And then Buffy like turns and she looks at Spike. She's like, take Dawn home, basically. And Buffy goes over to yell at Willow. Except that she doesn't.
Yeah.
Willow just starts like groveling on the ground. She's like, please, Buffy, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do it. I can't stop. I need help. I can't stop doing magic. I'm addicted. I can't do it. I need help. Oh, please, Buffy, I need help. And then Buffy just hugs her.
It just turns into a very special episode. You know? God, it's the Saved by the Bell. I just can't stop taking these speed pills, these diet pills. Help me. Like, it's just, again, like, this would work for me if I wasn't still in that limbo of the unapologeticness of what she had done.
Mm-hmm.
And it didn't help, like, she's addicted to magic, sure. But when Giles said something to her, she was giving attitude back. When Tara said something, she was giving attitude back. And it didn't seem like addiction yet, you know?
Yeah.
And this is her wake-up call that she almost killed the character that's almost always almost killed. You know? Like, your wake-up call wasn't someone saying that you ripped them from heaven or your girlfriend breaking up with you.
Yeah.
Again, drug addiction. Like, now when you put this at drug addiction, now it's like, well, you can't judge her because addiction's really one of those things where, like, you can't. Now it's one of those, now I can't judge Willow's actions because she was an addict. And it's like, that's no fun. That's no fun to take away the drama of that, because now she's an addict. So now we have to just feel sorry for her.
Yeah, you know, this is going to be controversial, but I don't like that logic at all. Like, you're still doing fucked up stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're doing the fucked up stuff. You have a problem. Like, it
like,
gives,
just because you have a problem doesn't mean that, like, you're excused, you know?
Yeah, it's not like, oh, I was drunk, I said the dumb thing. It's like, you still did the dumb thing. You still have to, like, deal with that. And and I get it if you're dealing with substance abuse and stuff. I just don't love that this is now like a substance abuse tie-in.
Yeah.
Because you can't react to it the same way. Now it's like we all need to get her help and we all need to be there to support her. And it's like, wait, I want you to be mad at Willow. Like I think that would be more like now we can't be mad at her. She was just addicted.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Yeah.
Like before like Buffy should have been mad at her anyway, just because of like how reckless she was being but she's like doing stuff that's really just fucking with people's minds. Like that's so intrusive and invasive.
At least if you're not even mad, you're still resentful. Like,
yeah.
Like,
I mean, it seems like Buffy is like reluctantly like,
but she's always like trying to help Willow. Like, I feel like I'm watching too much Buffy trying to help Willow through her breakup, through her trouble. Like, oh, she's tired. I'm like, who's helping you?
Yeah. Spike's dick is.
It's a Hallmark movie, and that's all she needs is to fall in love with a vampire.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's so unfair to Buffy. Like, it sucks, dude. Like, she gets taken from heaven by these jackasses who can't live without her or whatever. And like, no one has helped Buffy. Like, that's you just brought up such a good point, and like it brought up like why I feel so frustrated, and I didn't realize that was why I was frustrated. It's like because nobody's helping Buffy, and Buffy still has to be caretaker for all these jabronis.
Yeah, now Buffy now has to watch Dawn again. Tara's kind of out of the picture, not living there, so she's not around. And now Willow's a drug addict, a magic addict or whatever. So now like you can't trust her, you have to watch out. And Buffy is not equipped, 1, to raise Dawn, and 2, to help someone through addiction, as we see in the next scenes, because this scene is awkward.
Yeah, this scene I didn't like.
I didn't like it
really.
All. No.
So we go back to the Summers home, and Willow's there, and she's all swaddled in a blanket. Like she just took another shower. It seems like she needed to take another sad cry shower, and she's just sitting there thinking about her actions. And Buffy shows up, and Willow's like, "How's Dawn?" Buffy's like, "She's got a fracture. It'll be fine." And Buffy's just like standing there, cross-armed, looking stern at Willow.
Yeah.
And Buffy's like, "I just don't understand why you'd go and see a person like that Rack guy." And Willow's like, "It's because I'm an addict, dude. I'm addicted to magic. I thought I had it under control, but I didn't. I was just using magic for everything. And it's why Tara left. And yeah, dude, like, you don't get it." And Buffy's like, "Yeah, you're right. I don't get it. Why would you do that?" And Willow's like, "Well, let me put it to you this way. Like, would you rather be plain Willow or super Willow? I was super Willow with witchcraft, or I was nothing without witchcraft. Which would you choose?" And Buffy's like, "You don't need magic to be special." And I was like, bro, you were leaning real heavily on her magic last season, weren't you?
It's like, Buffy, remember when you lost your powers in the Kralik episode and you thought it was the worst thing in the world? You should completely relate to this.
Hey, Buffy, remember when all of us did a spell to help you beat Adam and made you the power of the First Slayer? Hey, Buffy, remember when I was integral to your plan to defeating Glory because you said, I can't even go toe-to-toe with her, but Willow, you went toe-to-toe with her and you survived. What are you talking about?
They try to tee this up a little bit last episode with Amy being like, "Oh, you don't want to go out? I guess you're still lame high school Willow." It's like, you can't say that thing if you've been a rat for 3 years. You have no idea what she'd been through.
Yeah, she's like, "Bro,
you're the
how
weirdo.
fucked a werewolf."
Yeah, you're the weirdo. You were a rat for 3 years. You don't get to become a human again and then just like neg me to go out.
Yeah. But Buffy says, like, "You don't need magic to be special." And Willow goes, "Don't I, though?" And Buffy's like,
I'm not equipped to handle this. I'm not the right person to talk to you. Like, this is a Xander moment. This is a Xander
You know
moment.
what? Yes, you're right. But Buffy is like, "Dude, we all don't want you to be doing this. Like, Tara wanted you to stop. That's why she left. Like, we all want you to stop."
Well, Willow tells her that. Like, it seems like Buffy didn't even know.
Yeah.
Willow's like, Tara left because of this. And Buffy's like, I've just been so oblivious. I have no idea what's happening. Doesn't she? I think Willow tells her.
In my notes, it says Buffy tells Willow Tara wants her to stop.
Oh, Tara wants her to stop. But I think Willow keyed it
Oh,
up.
yeah. And Willow does say, like, well, that's why she left.
Yeah.
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 But Willow keeps on explaining. She's like, I mean, this is what it was like. Like, I got to be free. I got to do all kinds of crazy shit, but I was like out of my mind. And I promise it won't happen again. I promise. I'm swearing off magic. I'm never going to do magic again. And like,
I'm quitting cold turkey. It's over. It's done.
Yeah. But like interjected throughout all of Willow's explanation is like shots of Buffy looking and being like, feeling like she's relating to the same problems that Willow has because she's fucking Spike, which I just don't get.
I don't want these two stories to be tied together. They're not.
Yeah, it's way different. This is apples to oranges.
Yeah. And it's taking away like anytime Buffy has a scene with Willow and it should be about like what Willow did to Buffy. It's all about like, oh my God, I really shouldn't be hooking up with Spike. And as opposed to like, hey, Buffy, you want to confront this lady that did the worst thing possible to you ever? No, you just want to think about like how it just mirrors your experience, but it really doesn't. It's just like they force the wording in. Like this is where she's like, oh, I gotta quit this before I hurt the people, before it hurts the people I love or something. And then they cut to Buffy and she's like, yeah, it could hurt the people I love if they find out I was fucking a vampire, which I've done multiple times before. Like,
yeah.
And now she's caring about hurting their feelings. Why, Buffy?
Yeah,
and you're not even dealing with the fact that you came back wrong.
Yep.
We need to dig into that. Like, what are you now? Like, why can his chip?
Yeah, like nobody brought that up. Like Spike didn't bring it up in this episode at all. Like Buffy didn't think about it. It seems like, I guess they were just, they were dealing with Willow's addiction, I guess. But that's such a big mystery that just got presented to us last episode. Yeah. And then it was in the recap of this episode. And then it's just like, no, but we got to deal with some Willow shit now. Like,
this is like,
I know that they're going to deal with
like
it probably next episode, but
yeah, this is like a reset for Willow. Like, now Willow can get back to being like normal, and then we'll get back to like focusing on the trio. But I don't like this being, because there's no way now that Buffy can yell at Willow because she's now an addict.
Yeah. And Willow, like, she's like, what was I before doing magic? It's like, you're a computer hacker.
Yeah, you were. What is Xander?
Yeah.
That's why Xander needs to be a part of this scene as one of the powerless people. Anya, who was a vengeance demon with powers for 100 years, now is just a helpless magic box store owner.
Yeah, and it would have been like Xander could have been there and being like, if you're not special with that, like, I don't have anything and Buffy still relies on me. Like, Buffy, we could have like a funny little like quip of like, yeah, Xander doesn't have anything, and Xander's like, hey.
Yeah.
Buffy's like, no, but like, you're still useful. Like, I still rely on you. Like, you're part of the team.
Yeah, it's just something, and like Buffy's giving nothing here. Her whole role is to sit there and listen and like reflect on how her Spike relationship is tied to this, which is not. Like, it's just like the words are hitting her and she's like, oh yeah, maybe I should quit Spike like you're quitting magic. Like, it's not.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's another thing I was going to say. Like, Willow is freaking out and like confessing all of her problems to Buffy, and Buffy's just off in her own world, like not even paying attention.
Like, she's giving her
what a bad friend, dude.
And then like she's like, oh, she's like, Tara loves you, and then Willow's like, I don't know, and Buffy's like, trust me, she does. I'm like, it's not about her relationship right now.
I know,
like,
dude.
Like, what? It's about you and Spike's relationship. It's turning into like a weird.
It was like last episode when Buffy's sitting with Willow and she's like, hey, how you doing? It's like, you should be yelling at her.
Yeah, or being like passive aggressive towards her. There's no passive aggressiveness. How are you not? Like, every time you look at Willow, you should be like, fuck you. Like,
yeah, dude. Like,
but it's just so apologetic, tough, and I just don't. Yeah, I get what they're going for. I get what they're trying to do. I'm just not a fan of it.
Yeah, same. Like I can't reiterate enough. Like this is not a 1-to-1 story relation, but they keep saying like, "Oh, it's over. It's over. I'm not doing anything. It's over. Right? It's done." And Buffy, every time they say it's over, I got to end this. Buffy's like wincing. She's like,
like,
yeah.
Like, stop thinking about you and Spike right now. Dawn almost died in a car crash due to the recklessness of your friend right here who ripped you from heaven.
Yeah.
Like, but that has to like, I don't know.
So after this, Buffy's like, good, it's over. All right, you're not doing magic anymore.
Oh yeah, you're just going to quit cold turkey. That's real easy because you said that before. Great.
Yeah. I'm not going to do it for a whole week. Less than 24 hours later.
Why don't I use magic to fix my magic addiction?
So then we have like a little sad montage of Willow waking up panting in the middle of the night in her night sweats because she's addicted. She's detoxing off magic.
She's going through magic withdrawal symptoms, which is something I didn't ever expect.
Yeah.
She's like, just give me a book. Just give me a little spell book.
Please, just give me a little. I need some Eye of Newt. Just a little Eye of Newt, please. Let me burn a candle, something. And then we go over to Buffy, who's like surrounded her entire room with garlic, and she's holding a cross, and she's looking around like, I don't want Spike coming over.
Did they have that garlic ready? Did she go to the market? Like, that's a lot of garlic.
Idea,
that is a lot of
garlic.
It was
a load, dude. Like, it's so much. It's on, like, there's 2 to every window, and she's got like 4 windows.
Can I just say, we've seen them put garlic around them. I've never seen garlic affect a vampire in Sunnydale.
Same. I guess because they're warded off.
It'd be amazing. She's like, hey, Willow, before you stop doing magic for good, do you mind doing that little spell that keeps the vampires out? And thank you again.
I was just thinking about that too.
Thank you again for going into my mind and rescuing me when I was catatonic.
Yeah. But
like she can't not do magic. Like that.
She's too integral to it now. Like, you know, they rely on her magic so much.
But the thing is, when you go full addict level, that means like you have to not do it because you can relapse.
Yes.
So now when they ask her to use a spell, it's like, oh, can we really ask her to do this? Because she's been spellless for 10 days. She's got her chip. Man. She's got her 3-month chip.
It's just so weird because magic has never been this in 6 seasons of the show. Magic has never been this before.
It's gonna be interesting to see how they balance this.
Yeah, like because they can't just make Willow never do magic again. I feel
like the budget. They just got a bigger budget for the show, so we need more magic.
Yeah. But that's where the episode ends. Buffy like looking around, like hoping that Spike doesn't show up with her little cross, which we know canonically is worthless.
Yeah, she's just sitting in bed spinning a crucifix. I'm like, I'm not worried that Spike is gonna burst in and like try to sleep with her right now. Like, like that's not even.
He doesn't need to because she's gonna show up to his place.
Yeah, she's sitting there like, I don't know. Yeah. Like, she needs to have a shower scene, you know?
Yeah. Cold shower.
Yeah. You wanted to talk about Amy. We were talking about, it was something about the ratness and whatever.
I think I brought it up. Yeah. It was just like, it was basically like, we've never had magic be like this before. Like, it was sex and now it's drugs. Like, that was kind of it.
My thing with Amy is, if you, Joe, were a rat for 3 years and then you became unratted, would your first 2 days be like this?
I think I'd probably want to do some of my favorite things like immediately. Be like, if
okay, go for it. Yeah.
Like if I was a rat and I was living in your house and you just weren't paying that much attention to like how to turn me back, and then you finally figured out how to turn me back, right? I'd be like, Vance, we're going to like my favorite restaurant and you're fucking buying.
I'd be like, fuck you. You left us at a burning steak.
Fair enough.
And
Fair
also,
enough.
I can turn you back into a rat.
That is true. All right, I'd be like, I'd try and do some of my favorite things because it's been like 3 years or whatever. But
wouldn't you also wonder what has happened in those 3 years? Would you want to like get reoriented?
Yeah, I'd need to do a Holtz style watch TV to catch me up to everything.
Yeah, I mean, we can relate it to the pandemic. You know, like going outside was a change. Like we were still floating around, but like it was an adjustment period after that. It's an adjustment period if you go out of town for 2 weeks and come back home.
Yeah, that is true.
Like she's hitting the ground running.
But it's also like, was Amy addicted to magic like that?
No, the addiction
before?
came this episode.
Yeah, it's just so sudden.
Yeah. It seemed like a get out of jail free card for Willow, which I don't like.
Yeah.
It's like, oh no, because I always thought it was going to be like, oh, she's possessed by some spirit and we get that out of her and she'll be able to control her magic balance wise. But then this is like, oh, she's got this demon in her, the drug addiction demon, the magic addiction. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, God, it's a weird one, man.
Buffy doesn't give her anything in that last scene. There's no like tough love there. There's no.
Yeah, man, it's something. Yeah. And now I'm just like, so is that the end of Amy?
No, I mean,
I think like scurries off like a little addict.
I think she'll float back in for episodes, but like it feels like her being a part of the big Willow turn isn't gonna be there. I think she's just gonna show up every now and then.
You think she'll show up and try to tempt Willow, and Willow's gonna be like, no, I'm stronger now. I don't need magic to be cool. And Buffy's standing behind her with her arms crossed. That's right.
Well, I think
like one of those after school specials.
I mean, Willow would have to have a relapse, right? And I had predicted that Tara and Willow would break up, but then get back together. And they kind of in that last scene was setting it to like, oh, Willow is trying, and now Tara might get back with her, but Tara, you can't.
Tara can't.
You can't. And I hope they don't do that because the trust is already broken to like a level that's just it. Like I had thought when she got home and she couldn't close the blinds or something, I thought maybe Tara did like some type of spell where no witchcraft could happen in that room or something. I didn't know like her powers depleted because I'm like, put up some walls of defense or something if you know that your girlfriend, your mind erasing girlfriend is out there witching it up with another lady.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's getting weird. It's kind of dark, and they're like trying to do more like adult themes, it seems like.
I just feel like we never got the payoff of them finding out that she was ripped from heaven. It was like one scene, they talked around, they were like, all right, we're fine with it. We're the Scoobies, who gives a shit? And then that was it.
Yeah.
And then Giles was like, I'm out. I don't care. Thanks for letting me know.
And let's reiterate once again, fuck the Scoobies.
Yeah.
Especially Willow right now.
Yeah, I just...
Like Dawn, she put Dawn in danger. Like, dude, this sucks.
I think it's the issue where now it's like we're supposed to feel bad for Willow, but I want to be upset with Willow.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't feel bad for her. I'm mad at her.
Yeah, but I don't think...
I'm not mad. I'm just
Buffy,
disappointed.
I don't think Buffy is, though, which is the weirdest part. Buffy is like, Willow, you do whatever you want. I got to figure out if I'm going to fuck Spike or not. Like, just fuck him. I don't care. I don't care. I am tired of Buffy being like, this is the last time. This is the last time. This is the last time. Just kill him.
And then just
I don't
just
care.
like insulting him to his face, all like you're not a man, you're terrible. This was the most perverse. It's like,
I mean,
bro.
he is less than a man. He is terrible. If you didn't have the chip, he'd be killing people left and right. Like,
yeah.
He's an awful person. He is in love with you in his weird way that he can love you.
Yeah. You got anything else to say about Wrecked?
No.
Next episode is titled Gone.
Ooh.
Is this Tara permanently leaving?
Hmm.
Like, hey, Willow, I'm glad that you're going to witch rehab, but I can't forgive what you did. Like, I will always love you, but I can't ever be with you again.
Does Willow disappear for a few episodes and go to magic rehab?
Wait, no, Tara can't. Tara
Willow?
can't do that because she just got settled into her new apartment.
Yeah, she.
Who's gone?
I mean, Willow could disappear for a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think the trio's got to come back for something.
Yeah.
What episode is this? Episode
oh wow,
11?
there's a big gap between these two episodes too, because this Wrecked was November 27th and Gone is January 8th. Couple months.
I'll be gone till November. I
Gone.
don't know. I don't know. I don't really know. I'm gonna say Willow goes to rehab.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Gone in the terms of like Willow's not mentally there and Buffy's not mentally there. Like people are trying to like, you know, they keep talking about how Buffy like, oh, you haven't been the same since you came back. Like you're not mentally here. Maybe it's finally addressing Buffy. Maybe they'll finally have that conversation about like being ripped from heaven.
Maybe finally. Like I just don't. I mean, I was expecting that right after the once more with feeling, and then the mind erase thing was still fine. It was a good way to push it. But then after that, we just get a Yeah.
But yeah, that's a wrap for Wrecked, everybody. Thanks for listening. Subscribe to our Patreon, patreon.com/Boys Watching Buffy, where we're doing Boys Watching Angel, Boys Watching Movies. We're doing The Mummy with Brendan Fraser, Joe's Fashion Report /Corner. If you want to get a shout out, Apple Podcast 5-star rating and review, Spotify 5-star rating, send it to us at Boys Watching Buffy on Instagram, Boys Watching Buffy at Gmail, Amazon wishlist, freaking merch store, spring or whatever we got. Throne wish list.
You gotta find that. You gotta find that one.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, that one's just a joke. That's
if you go back to some past episodes, it's in the show notes. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
Or
it's my birthday.
Happy birthday, Joe.
Thanks, Vance. Yeah. And yeah, stay tuned next time for when we talk about Gone.
I'm sorry about everything.
It's okay. You should rest. You're beat from monster wrestling all night.
Seltzer Kings.
Podcasts.